Welcome to the next episode of The Couch. My name is Adam. To my right here is Dave Nepper. And to my left is our good friend Steve Bean, who is a missionary from PAX. So this week we're going to be touching on some stuff. MMORPGs are big in the next coming months, and the big new game that's getting waves on the Xbox One is Spark, which Dave will be talking about a little bit. So for MMORPGs, as we know, Elder Scrolls Online has been in beta. It just dropped. In fact, I believe it was yesterday, the 4th. Our good friend Steve here has been playing it. This is one game I have not touched. I have barely even looked at. I've barely even researched. You got to try it at PAX and then at home.
Yep.
What did you experience?
It's if you like Skyrim, if you love the Elder Scrolls, I mean, it is immersive. The detail, the play style, it's all great. The thing I didn't like, I was a console Elder Scrolls guy, so I got used to those consoles, those controls, everything like that. Transitioning that to a PC totally threw me off. Just that whole movement, the way you move, the way you attack, things like that, that was a little difficult for me to transition. So if I would have gotten that on the console, I probably would have enjoyed it more. I mean, I love the storyline. I love the voice acting. I mean, you had some seriously great Michael Gambon. I mean, just a bunch of great actors in there, really, really adding to the story and the playability. Just the whole transition for me would take me some time. So, I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm going to make the investment of it continually.
Right.
Again, Skyrim's got tons of replay value for me, and so does Morrowind, Oblivion. I mean, they all do for me. I don't know if this one would keep my attention enough to be able to do that. Not say, I didn't give it a fair shake because I was like, okay, I have no idea how I move. But I enjoyed it, but it's not going to steal me away from Azeroth.
How much time did you put into the beta, just out of curiosity?
I played it for a weekend. I mean, I played it pretty solidly for a while.
Okay.
And so some of those little things that they may have tweaked may have been fixed in subsequent releases, beta releases. But, again, if you love the lore, it's great. If you love the environment, that's great. There was nothing that drastically, mind-blowingly different that I think that set it apart as, wow, this is I'm just enraptured. I didn't get that sense. Now, again, I may not have given it its fair shake and breadth of what it can offer. But, I enjoyed it. But
would the game translate to a controller? I mean, I played Skyrim on my 360 and my PC, and when I switched over and started playing on my PC, I think it was maybe 10, 12 minutes in, and I was like, I'm done with the keyboard mouse thing, and plugged in my controller, mapped everything how I expected it, and went from there. Does ESO have controller capabilities, having played the beta? Do you know?
I do not know. I haven't done that. I mean, I just did the debate when I did it. I just did keyboard mouse, and again, for me, that was really different and having played a lot of MMOs and everything like that on my PC, I was used to playing the Elder Scrolls style and that genre with a controller. Sure. And so I was comfortable in moving and selecting and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And it just really threw me off. Yeah. I felt like a fish out of water when I got on the PC for a while. And that kind of hampered my play style, in my opinion of it. But
something I was curious about, because I have played Morrowind and Skyrim. Obviously, in those worlds, you can go, miles without really seeing anything. Like maybe a giant in the distance, maybe a troll over the bridge, but a lot of scenery. Is it spread out the same way in the MMO? Or is it kind of like, WoW, where you're going to have a mob of boars that you have to go kill 5 of in this particular area, and then there's goblins like on the other ridge or something?
What was available at the time of the beta, it was fairly linear. So it was kind of like you're in this environment. This is what you've got to do. You got to kill things. You got to get these quests done. They did have side quests, and it was fairly expansive as to where you went in this area, but it still had a kind of a directed feel to it, at least. So I don't know if, once you get out of that initial starter area, if it just opens up and you can kind of go anywhere you want and do that. If it's that open-ended, like a Skyrim, that I don't even have to play the main quest line. I can do anything else, and then I'll get back to the main quest line later on. I don't know if it's like that, because obviously it is an MMO. So you're going to have continual playability. You can't just finish it and be like, all right, I beat it. You're going to have to, all right, now I got to do quests over here, and I got to do quests over here, and they're going to have to scale with content, with your level, things like that. So I don't know if it's a more directed zone-wise that I'm going to go from this zone to this zone to this zone, or hey, after I get out of the starter, I can do whatever I want.
Interesting. Well, another MMO coming out, of course, in June will be Wildstar Online. I don't know if anyone's seen this yet, but it is catching a lot of waves. I guess the best way to describe it would be WoW in space. 2 factions, 4 different races on each side. Of course, different classes you can be. And then you go out in the world, got to kill enemies, got to fight the other faction, all this stuff. They do have some stuff. This is one I have tried and have played. I did get into beta. I got to play beta one weekend, and then I just pre-ordered, so now I have access to all the beta weekends, which I'm definitely looking forward to trying out. But my first reaction to it, they added a lot of different things. Like one of them was you have your class, examples, warrior, spellcaster, thief, whatever. Different names now in the game, but you also got to choose a job career path. On top of my head, there was scientist, explorer. There were 2 others I can't really remember, but it added like a customized feel to the gameplay. I mean, you had your main story quests, but then you had these side quests that went along with your career path. The one I chose was adventurer, so like the challenges that I had was a lot of jumping challenges to get to like the highest points and peaks of like the certain maps that I was in.
So adventurers jump a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot of jumping challenges, at least that I saw. I did not get too far, so I'm sure they have different challenges ahead. But you got to explore the maps that they really made. Like, I'm imagining a scientist won't be going to the tops of these trees that I got to saw. And then, of course, you plant your object that you got to plant. Then you see this whole cinematic view of the map that they made. It was very gorgeous and very pretty. I, for one, am really excited for it. Another thing that differentiates itself from, say, WoW, which is, the go-to MMO, all skills, healing, attacking, is all skill shot. You have your area of effect. When you toggle your skill, it lights up. You got to aim it. So healing is completely different. If you want a more active feel in actually playing or PvP, this is going to be a good game for you to check out. I'm very excited. I have it downloading on my PC right now as we are talking. So as soon as we're done, I'm probably going to go home and try it out. But another game we really want to talk about that is catching waves. It's in beta right now. It is on the Xbox One. It's something that Dave's been touching, and that is Spark, right?
Project Spark.
Project
yeah.
Spark.
So,
Big creating simulator, right?
yeah, the whole idea behind it is to create a game that allows you to create your own game within the environment. It gives you a bunch of variables when you start out. I played the beta. It's in beta stage right now, and you start with a piece of land, and you can choose whether you want an Arctic feel or a desert feel or kind of a jungle feel, and then it kind of populates that, and then you take a next step and decide if you want it to be kind of an adventure or an attack or survival kind of scenario. You can put down bases, you can put down the enemies, and you just kind of build this world to play in, and when you're all done, you press play and you run out and do whatever it is that you want to achieve. And what's really cool about it is you can remix other people's game styles. You can go in and publish them, so that other people can play them. If you like it, you can download it, play it yourself, and share those things. So it's kind of a middle step to people who want to design games a little bit, but not from the ground up. Just take this structure and say, okay, I want to create this scenario and play through this.
Kind of like testing the water almost.
Yeah.
With that theory. Interesting.
It's kind of like this StarCraft map builder. In the front end, you build your map, and then you kind of go through and you play through it after that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. Add your elements and things like that. There are some, like I said, it's in beta. There's some things that are being worked out. There's some kind of DLC or in-app purchases for extra components if you want to add in a lot of different environmental pieces and objects and things like that. You can get really fine-tuney though in what you can do with the game. I haven't done this yet, but I was watching one of the videos, and you can go in. This person took a rock, and they made the rock have kind of a character, and the rock kind of came to life, and you told there's a brain element to it. You can say, rock, follow me around by jumping, and so as the character's going along, this rock is like following you along. There's just a ton of stuff that you can do within the game if you're creative and like doing that kind of thing, which I always have. I always love map making and things like that. It's a fun place to play, and
Is this exclusive to the Xbox One?
it is exclusive to Xbox One and Windows 8. It's only on PC and Xbox One.
Okay.
So it's a great next step for anyone who loves Minecraft, I would say.
Absolutely.
Okay, wow. Because I knew you can make the environments. Making a whole game, I had no idea about that. That sounds really interesting to me.
Very fun.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So thanks, guys, for joining us on this session of The Couch. We will be having a next session, and we'll be getting into more topics. If you have played any of these games that we just talked about, please feel free to share your experiences. Tell us what you've experienced, what you hope to see. And if you want us to touch on any games, feel free to leave a comment. All right, guys, we're signing off on The Couch.